Good afternoon. Today I'm going to show you two new features of Artwork's Gerber RIP program. One of them is the ability to process multiple window extractions without reloading the Gerber data. And the second is a special mode where we output monochrome data but as an 8-byte grayscale file. So we use 1 byte per pixel. Let's look at our Gerber data. You can see it's a large panel. It's about 48 megabytes in size. We can extract a large number of windows without reloading the Gerber data for each window extraction. The Gerber data is cached in memory. So let's look at our command line for the Gerber to TIFF. We start by calling the 64-bit version of Gerber to TIFF, and then we pass it the name of the Gerber file we want to process. Then we give it the base name of the output file. In this case it's going to be a Microsoft BIMP file. Tell it 274x. We tell it that our command line units are in millimeters. And Super 18 is the one that tells it to use 1 byte per pixel as opposed to 1 bit per pixel. The DPI is 4600. Instead of specifying the window on the command line, we want the window to be read from a file that I'm calling random millimeter CSV, which is a comma delimited file, and you can see some of the entries here. This one happens to be in millimeters. Our window is 16 by 16 millimeters, so that's how much we're extracting at 4600 DPI. That'll give us about 3000 by 3000 clips. Finally, we're telling the program to use 4 threads because this workstation has 4 CPU cores. That's all we need to do, and now we'll simply execute the program by double-clicking on the batch file. This is going to run quietly, so I'll pause it until it's done. It took 1 minute and 30 seconds to complete 50 window extractions. Let's look at the output, and you can see a 0, 1, 2, 3 for each of the separate windows. So let's look at some of these files and see what they contain. We've just picked the first clip, and you can see this is a zoomed in view of the window that we took. And if I go to File Info, I can see the image height and width. I can see the bit count is 8. There's no compression. Now let's zoom in and see what we have here. This roughness is really a factor of the DPI we selected. At 4600 you won't get such smooth edges for features of this size. You can also see that all the files are the same size because no compression was applied, and they're about 8 times bigger than if you had used monochrome, BIMP, or TIFF. Thank you.